Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to another beautiful evening. So, today's topic is gonna be a little bit more about ballad songs themselves because I feel like usually I just rant and shit. So, this one's gonna be more ballad song oriented. The topic of today's video is a new hobby you should start. You should, you can, that's for you to decide. I'm just gonna list everything out, and then at the end, you can decide if you want to get into it or not. So, the hobby I'm talking about, obviously, if you didn't guess already, it's ballad song flipping. And ballad song flipping is actually such an amazing hobby, in my opinion. I absolutely love it. I adore it, and I'll give you why. I'll give you the reasons why. First of all, the the people in this hobby are genuinely some of the best people. And they create some of the best content I have ever seen. Their content is actually amazing, right? Because once you get into the hobby, then only you realize that, oh shit, there's people that make such amazing content, but they're just not well known because their hobbies or their point of interest are just very niche, right? Say Will Hurst, say Ethan from Blade by, stuff like that. They have amazing videos that I enjoy watching a shit ton. It's just that not many people know of them, so I can't geek out about them. That pisses me off. So get into this hobby. This hobby is okay, now let's go. Now that I've told you that the content they make is actually top tier, I love it. It's amazing, right? It's just so fun watching things that, usually I would just not be interested in. But since I'm in this hobby, it's just so fun. It's actually one of the most fun things you can do. Even before I actually started flipping a lot, I used to watch them and I used to think that they were some of the coolest people ever. So maybe if you're not sure about if you want to start ballad song flipping or anything, you should follow them, right? You should follow along. You should wait for a ballad song that you really like, and that can actually be some of the most fun thing ever. Some of the most fun things ever, which is just watching them and looking at their hobbies and seeing how much fun they have, and then you'll want to do it too. So yeah, that's one thing. Because they make really good content. And wait, my hands are sandy, I can't flip correctly. Okay, so then I'm gonna go over the ballad song itself. The ballad song itself, let's just go into a bit of a history lesson, was invented in the Philippines, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it was, I think, used as self-defense, and yeah, that's about it. It's used as self-defense because it's actually it can be classified as a gravity knife in some places, or so, because it's very easy to open, right? Like I could just stab someone, but that's if I had a real blade. I don't, however. You should do not take down my video. I will touch you. Okay, so I think people just need to realize that this is actually an amazing hobby with such amazing people who, support this hobby. There's like Will Hirsch makes amazing videos. There's Benji flips. There's Can't Flip for Ship. There's just so many amazing content creators, and they enough are a reason to get into this hobby. And I've been geeking out about them like for 3 minutes straight. I need to talk about this hobby itself now. Okay. So for the hobby itself, I would definitely say it's one of the most fun hobbies I've ever had. And I say this as someone, okay, wow, I think that stopped. But what I was saying was, this is one of the most fun hobbies I've ever had. And I say this as someone who's bounced between a lot of hobbies, right? I've bounced between, I've yo-yoed for a while. I've had reading as a hobby for a while. I know I'm a nerd, okay? So basically, there's just so many other things that are just not comparable to ballad song flipping. And ballad song flipping itself isn't even that expensive, because people say, oh, you have to get this, full titanium bushing 45.367 ballad song, and it's just, you really don't. You need to people usually, nobody says that in this hobby, but there are, I think I've seen like one video about it, and maybe $300 is too much, maybe $200 is too much. You could get a clone for $30, because as a wise man once said, culture does not have a price. Like I think this was like some indie artist who got his game pirated. He was like, it's fine if you can't support us, I would rather you play this game and support by word of mouth, which is just so amazing. Buy a clone, it's fine, you can support them later on. Say right now, I'm not sure if I want to spend that much money on a Kraken, right? So I buy a Kraken clone, I see, oh wait, this is actually really fun, maybe I do want the full quality thing, right? And that's just something that you have to learn in this hobby, that not everything is as expensive as everybody makes it out to be. I get that, like, there's many small makers that have high prices, there's machine wise, there's this and that. It can seem very confusing at first, but nothing is really that expensive in this hobby. If the whole experience of this hobby you can have with a decent sub $100 battle song. The Orion, the Kite, all of them are great battle songs that aren't even clones. So maybe if you don't want to have a clone, maybe you don't want to risk it, you could just buy one of them and you could have just as much fun as anyone. So this isn't an expensive hobby as many people make it out to be. It's not as expensive as it seems, right? Then we're gonna go over the fact that this hobby is just so versatile, right? There's battle songs for every single occasion. It's like if you're a beginner, you could get a trainer. If you want to have something you want to flip outside, you could get a classic battle song. If you're really into the hobby now, and you want to level up your flipping by a ton, or maybe you just want to have a really fun expensive battle song, you get like a titanium one, get like one of Machine Wise. It's just so amazing because there's something for everybody in this hobby. It isn't something like those it isn't like you have to spend this much money to get the experience of this. You can have just as much fun as anyone, and maybe even more, just by buying a small battle song for $30. And if you can spare $30 for a new hobby, I trust you can. And yeah, that's gonna be about it for this video. I'm really sorry if this video was like mid or anything, but I just wanted to rant about how I think battle song flipping is just such an amazing thing, and how everybody else should also have a part of the fun. Everybody should have fun in this hobby because it's just so amazing. Anyways, I hope you all like the video, and yeah, have fun. Bye.